Today we're going to talk about one of the best values on the multi-tool market at the moment and 3 ways to make it even better. Let's get started. Now let's go ahead and quickly run through a bunch of the features on this tool. This is pretty much the same whether the name says Byberry, Day Camping, Rock Tool. There will be many different names, but usually you'll always have a large set of scissors. You'll have a knife, T-shank adapter. I even have a fork in this one. Serrated blade on the inside. A really nice Leatherman Surge style set of pliers. Then on the inside, they will differ a little bit. Sometimes the more premium ones, like the Maltper, I believe have where the eyeglass screwdriver. But on this one, wire stripper, can opener, smaller screwdriver, large screwdriver, all on this side, the double-sided bit driver. Now, one of the easiest things that you can do for your tool is actually to add pocket clips to them. Now, these are 2 different versions that I have found are very successful. This is maybe my favorite one, but actually both of them work very well. The easiest one is the Night Eyes. This one goes, or used to go, for around $10. There are even some clones of the Night Eyes that are even a little cheaper. The Night Eyes comes with 3M tape. You use an alcohol pad. You swipe the side of the handle that you want to adhere this to, and then you simply take off the tape, the double-sided tape, stick that down to it, and then stick this to it. Now, for best results, I usually let the clip stay on here about 10 to 24 hours before I use this tool. I think that's a very important step, cleaning it and letting it sit for a long time. Otherwise, you may be very disappointed. I have used these adhesive clips. I think on these larger tools, I don't know if I've ever had a problem. I can't think of a time when they've come off. This one is another one. This is a lot thinner. This is the universal holster. Right here, you can actually tighten this down. This one moves a little bit more. It's not quite as firm on here because you attach these bolts, not bolts, but the screws into the other piece. But with this one, it's a little more slimline. Same process, alcohol pads, double-sided, basically 3M tape. Then you put this flat piece down, let it sit for 10 to 24 hours. Then you can screw in the top piece to it, and you have this very minimalist pocket clip that actually holds up pretty well. I've been happy with both of these. I will leave links to all these products that I'm talking about today, but that's a game changer if you're interested in using a pocket clip for your tool. But if you want a holster, I have found the perfect one for you. Now, these are pretty much like laser cut holsters. These are very minimalist. They have Velcro. They come in several different colors. I've got the one in tan. So it's from AliExpress, and this was from Amazon. They both look exactly the same. How they work is they've got this strap in the back, this fabric strap, and then you go through whichever loop you want. Then it actually catches on this piece right here and it holds it in place. I've heard some people complain about that, but for me, it's very minimalist. This is extremely lightweight. I mean, feather lightweight to me. Really, really great. This is the GHK 17-in-1, and you can go ahead, put this right in here. Here is the Byberry. This goes right in here like so. Then, yeah, it can fit all the way down there. Very nice, snug fit, elastic sides. Even with your pocket clip, it can fit in there if you so desire, and it fits really, really nice. This is my favorite pouch at the moment. I'm not really a pouch guy, but these have converted me because they are so lightweight. I love these. I feel like these are about half the size, the weight of a Leatherman pouch, the nylon ones. So if you can imagine that, your Leatherman, and then about half the weight. Really, really nice. These run, I think, about $20 either on Amazon or AliExpress. I will leave links below so you can get one of these for yourself. And this one, I actually had the SQT that I was using at work. It fits really nicely. It fits either one really well. Now, one of the really cool things that Rock Tool has done is in the past, they have made a blade for the wave style clones, but now they are selling this. And I think maybe some of those wave style clones almost work with the surge ones as well, but they are specifically making this for the surge style clones. This is the S35VN blade. It fits right in your tool. Now, out of the package that it comes with, it may take a little bit, just a tiny bit of grinding. You can see that this one right here isn't catching the edge of this lock spring. So I'm going to take this apart. And how we do this, you should always heat the tool up on these. I didn't have to because I used the T11, which is exactly what you need. But if you would use like a T10, which works, you might end up ruining your pivots. So it's always best to use heat to heat up the Loctite. That's why you would need to do that. Heat up the Loctite, take this apart. I'm going to take this to the grinder. It needs one washer underneath, and I'll come back and show you how nice this will fit in here. All right, so I took this blade to my belt sander, and just after a tiny little bit on the edge to give it that sort of this style edge right there so the spring can pop up. Now it is locked into place. If you want this spring to go up a little further, all the way up to this pivot screw, then obviously you would take some more metal off, but you can actually fine tune it to exactly where you want this. Tighten these pivots to where you want it. Now, over the years that I've been doing this channel, I have gotten numerous people asking, how did you put the thumb stud on some of these Byberry day camping, essentially Leatherman Surge clones? Well, in the past, I actually had people reach out to the channel and give me like hardware pieces of kits they wanted me to review, and so that's where I got it from. And then I did not realize for the longest time that these are fairly widely available, and the seller who gave it to me, he has since moved on to sell other things. But you can get a lot of these just very easily off of Amazon, and I think some of them are meant for electrical projects, maybe computer projects. But I decided to show you guys some of these thumb studs and how easy they are to make for your projects. So for this mod, you may need some washers, your M3 screw. My particular one uses a small Phillips, and then of course the material you're using for your thumb stud. So if you want an M3 screw, then you'll need something that threads into the M3, so both M3 screw and M3 hardware. So for this mod, we'll position our M3 screw, and for these screws, you want them as minimal as possible. And what I mean by that is you do not want the head to be very thick. You want it to be tapered so that it will not rub against the frame and get stuck. Now, what I found is that if you wedge this in here, you can have it just at the edge where it might almost fall out. Then you can put a washer right there. Put this on your screw. You need to correctly get this threaded on there. Move the washer into the middle. All right. Then we'll go ahead and tighten up the screw. And then there you go. You have a thumb stud that you can easily move and that fits onto your tool. I think that is a very easy way to do this. Are these expensive? Well, if you total everything up, they are a little pricey because you end up paying, maybe $8 for this, maybe $6 for the screws, and maybe $6 for these. So you end up maybe spending somewhere around $20 for a thumb stud, but then you've got enough material to make thumb studs for a ton of different projects. If you don't want to do that, of course, you can always just buy smaller quantities. I bought larger quantities because of all the work that I do modding and so forth, but that's one way to do it. All right, so let's take this apart. This is very easy to remove. Let's take this apart and then let's try this gold one right here that I talked about. I will leave links again for these. This one basically already has that washer, so there's no need to buy an extra washer. You would just need to buy the screws and then this not fitting, but the piece of hardware right here. All right, so we'll tighten this up. Okay. All right, and that's about right. So we might move it just a tiny bit back. Okay. Tighten that up, and there we go. I've got this thumb stud right there. I think this is a really nice solution, a very easy solution. You can use Loctite and then get that really to stay in place. But unless you want to be 3D printing your own thumb studs, which is fine, I think this is a very more budget-friendly alternative, especially if you buy in lesser numbers. So overall, I am really excited about all of these exciting new possibilities, from the pocket clip to the thumb stud to the knife blade that you can buy from Rock Tool. All these great new opportunities to mod your Byberry day camping Maltper tools. I do want to mention that with this Rock Tool, I did find it a little bit harder to use in this platform. So I do think it works better in this open frame. So I'm pretty excited that now you can accessorize your tools in a way that is far easier than I have ever realized before.